Hello everyone, today we are breaking down Season 4, Episode 3, Trial of Ordeal of The Witcher. But before that, remember to like the video, it helps out the channel a lot, and subscribe, and yada yada yada, let's get to it. The first thing we see is Yennefer entering a brothel sex place, I think? On stage, she sees a unicorn and two people playing her and Geralt. She smiles in amusement. In the books, the two do bang on a stuffed unicorn, so this is a reference to that. She walks in on Francesca banging some dude. She's here to recruit her to fight against Vilgefortz. But Francesca knows this is BS. She doesn't care about Vilgefortz. This is really about Ciri, and Yennefer says, yeah. If Vilgefortz gets his hands on Ciri, bad things will occur. They need to end him before that happens. Francesca turns down the offer though. But Yennefer needs her, and she's not taking no for an answer. So she turns Francesca into a talisman, puts her in her pocket, and then she turns into a raven and flies away. This is a polymorph spell. Only very powerful mages can pull this off. Philippa Eilhart is really the only mage who does it. She turns into an owl, but since she and Yennefer are now allies, it seems she showed Yennefer how to do it. We are now with Geralt and the crew. They're coming upon a refugee camp. With Nilfgaard warring with the northern kingdoms, a lot of villages have been destroyed or burned down. This just happens to be where all those displaced people are gathering. Zoltan and Percival were escorting some refugees as well before they met Geralt. They are hoping that they find their families here. We are now with Ciri and the rats. They're going to rob a carriage. While the rats go through the trunks on the back, Ciri talks to Lady Gilda, who is riding in it. She is some baron's daughter. Ciri really does not like this person. Granted, the Lady Gilda is not making it easy on herself. I think in a way Ciri sees some of her former self here, back when she was still a princess. Not really any hardships and living in a bubble. But Ciri could also be thinking, this gal thinks she is so high and mighty and is talking down to me? I'm a princess, F her. Ciri steals her brooch and cuts her hair for good measure. Lady Gilda is furious and crying. We're now with Philippa and Triss Merigold. They are in some castle, I would assume it's somewhere in Redania. Since Philippa has agreed to join them, the rest of Yennefer's allies will be coming here as well. Yennefer arrives through the window and has a rough landing. She's not used to being a bird yet. She really wants to get portals back up and working again. If you recall from previous episodes, Vilgefortz was able to shut down portal travel. We see some other mages arriving as well. We see a very stereotypical witch. Her name is Asire. I think that's how you pronounce it. At least that's what it sounded like to me in the show, so I could be wrong. In the books, she is part of Nilfgaard, so I don't really know what her background in the show is. But the way Philippa is looking at her, she must be kind of a big deal. We see some more familiar faces as well. Sabrina and Margarita are here. Yen is a bit surprised to see Sabrina since they're kind of rivals, but with Vilgefortz spreading lies about mages, Sabrina really didn't have much of a choice in the matter. She's going to see if this is the least worst option. We then see a dwarf mage named Zima. She is a new character for the show. We see another elven mage here as well, Ida. She is a close companion to Francesca. I'm sure she will be thrilled to see her queen. Yen turns Francesca back to a person, and she's not very happy. We're now with Fringilla. She's getting a tour of Vilgefortz's base. Josephus is leading her around. He brings her to a room filled with other mages. This is how they are controlling portal travel. A mage has to funnel their chaos, their magic, into this pit, and this is what is messing with portal travel, I guess. The only issue is that someone constantly has to be doing this. So the mage could kill themselves from doing this, or they can burn out and not be able to do magic anymore. Vilgefortz picks the next mage to go when Fringilla tells him no, that the mage he picked is weak. This other mage, on the other hand, has so much more chaos. Vilgefortz listens and sends the girl Fringilla wanted. So Fringilla is showing Vilgefortz her ruthless nature. She does not care about sending someone to their death, and Vilgefortz appreciates that. And maybe he will start to trust her with more secret stuff. We're back with Geralt and the group. They are walking through the refugee camp, and they see a familiar face, Yarpen Zigrin. Handshakes all around. Apparently Yarpen and Zoltan know each other and aren't exactly friends. Maybe more like frenemies. Jaskier invites Yarpen to join them on their journey, and it seems he agrees he will tag along to find Ciri. The group talks some more when Regis points out that the refugees that they have been traveling with have found their families, which brings a smile to Geralt's face. Beata, the young girl that was traveling with them, runs off. Geralt runs after her. I think she reminds him of Ciri, so he has a bit of a soft spot for her. Beata runs into a crowd where her sister is being accused of being a witch, and a priest is going to burn her at the stake. Beata runs up to her, hugging her. The priest realizes that they are related and says they will burn them both, that she must be another witch. The crowd cheers at this. Geralt runs up to the front to confront the man. He is followed by the rest of the crew. We then see some familiar faces from last episode, the ones who tried taking Milva's horse. The two accuse her of being a witch as well. Geralt and the crew are outnumbered and the crowd wants to see some violence. Regis gives Geralt some sage advice, saying if you want to fight with steel, they will see you for a monster. Maybe try something else. Out-clever the priest. Play him at his own game. We are back with Ciri and the rats. They're at a fair in town. Kaylee and Missel talk about Ciri. He clearly does not like her. Basically anything Ciri does, he puts down. Kaylee thinks there is some kind of secret Ciri is not telling them, something that could be bad for all of them. Missel tells him to settle down and not to worry about it. Ciri and Missel are waiting in line when we see 3 men are watching her. They look to be bounty hunters. The question is, are they here for the rats, or are they here for Ciri? We're back with Yennefer, and the meeting between the various mages begins. Yennefer gives the same rundown she's been saying for a while now. They need to eliminate Vilgefortz. He is power hungry and he will be the death of them all if they don't stop him. Philippa tells the group that all allies can stay here with her as they prepare to go to war with him. Sabrina calls out Yennefer, like what Francesca did. This is about Ciri, not Vilgefortz. Yennefer then gives Francesca the floor to tell them why Ciri is so special. She goes through the history of Ciri's great ancestor Laura Doran, and the elf who she was supposed to marry, Avallac'h, randomly enough. Now this is kinda different from the books, but whatever, we're rolling with it. Their kid was supposed to be the key for a bright elven future. A child powerful enough to send all the elves to Tir Nili? I think that's how you say that. Which is in the world of the NL elves. So after the conjunction of the spheres, humans basically took over the continent. The elves once ruled over all of it, and now they had nothing. The world of the NL is a different world altogether, where elves rule. They're kind of backtracking here a little bit. That terrible prequel show, The Witcher Blood Origins, seemed to axe the idea of the NL, but it seems they are bringing them back, which is nice. Things are still slightly different, but whatever. Anyways, Lara did not marry Avallac'h, but instead she fell in love with a human. They had a child, and the elder blood that flowed in her veins was passed down all the way to Ciri. Yennefer says everyone wants Ciri. She can rule the continent. She has more power than anyone. And that is why they need to get rid of Vilgefortz, because if he captures her, he will be unstoppable. Francesca and many of the other mages agree to fight with Yennefer. We're back with Geralt and the priest. Geralt will be playing along with this farce. He tells the crowd he will name any evil amongst them. That he is a witcher, he has to. He took an oath. But he says he requires proof of these girls being witches before he can say if they are or not. A man from the crowd says he has evidence that his cat went missing when this girl showed up, and that she made a stew from it. They bring the stew and we see some bones. The girl says they are chicken bones and that this person is an idiot. So clearly we aren't dealing with the smartest people here. Zoltan then sees the cat in question. The peasants claim that the witch brought it back to life. Geralt yells at the crowd to stop, that this whole thing is ridiculous and there is no concrete proof. The priest says he has no say in the matter, and Jaskier says you literally said he did like 5 minutes ago. Geralt is done with this whole thing. He demands a trial by combat. The priest gets real scared and the crowd erupts in cheers. Like I said, they just want to see some blood. We're back with Ciri and Missel getting tattoos when those bounty hunters come barging in. They're just looking for Ciri and they know who she is. Ciri, before they can say anything, kills all 3. Missile stands there shocked. Ciri sits back down so the lady can finish her tattoo. We're now with Vilgefortz meeting with Emhyr. Emhyr wants to know where his real daughter is. Last episode, he realized that he was given a fake. Vilgefortz does not deny it. He says Ciri will be his. That Emhyr should just focus on the war. The northern kingdoms are failing. All he has to do is go for it. Emhyr tells him to get out. Vilgefortz leaves and Skellen enters, Emhyr's spy master. Skellen is confused. Why didn't he order Vilgefortz's death? And Emhyr says he could still be useful, that his arrogance will be his downfall. That in the conversation he had with him, he found out that he does not have Ciri either. He will let him do what he does for now. Skellen suggests that they can still announce Emhyr getting married to fake Ciri, to make it seem like they still have her. They don't want anyone else trying to find her. Remember, a lot of the northern kingdoms had marriage plans for Ciri as well, because if you marry her, then Cintra is yours. Emhyr blows up at Skellen, saying he will not marry this peasant. He will marry his daughter. He will put his seed in her, and their children will have the elder blood. So finally, we find out Emhyr's secret plan. I literally didn't know this was what he wanted this entire time. I thought he just wanted his kid back. I didn't know he wanted to go all Targaryen with it. But this makes sense now. It's why he just hasn't come out and say, hey Ciri, come back to Papa. Because if people found out he was her dad, and that he's going to marry her, people would think that's gross. Skellen comes at this from a different approach, that if they just announce the marriage, that some of the Cintra people will stop fighting against them, and it will buy them time to find the real Ciri. Skellen is very much focused on winning the war now, and he's kind of sick of Emhyr's nonsense with prophecy and whatnot. Emhyr agrees to this, but says if Skellen does not find Ciri by the wedding date announcement, Skellen will be dead. We're back with Yennefer and the other mages. They ask how they're going to find Vilgefortz, and Yennefer says that she has a person on the inside. They FaceTime with Fringilla. So it turns out she is a double agent, and the reason she was trying to show her loyalty to Vilgefortz was to get on his good side. So maybe he will share something useful with her. Fringilla tells them she needs more time here, that the portal she went through was hidden, and she has no idea where she is at. Someone is coming and Fringilla has to get off the line. It is Josephus. Vilgefortz wants her to pick another mage for the portal blocker. Yennefer is frustrated, hoping they could find at least a location of his base. She then says they will have to fight him here. They will draw him in, which would be safer. At least then you know you're fighting a more defensive battle here. We're now with Skellen. It seems he is speaking with some of the other High Lords of Nilfgaard. But I think this is like a secret meeting, not one Emhyr knows about. They are mad for Emhyr picking Ciri over one of their own daughters to marry. Skellen says this could be a good thing, and could be his downfall and a way to get rid of him. It is clear that Emhyr is kind of a jerk, and I'm sure Skellen didn't appreciate his life being threatened, so now he's going to scheme against him. We're back with Geralt. The priest declines the trial by combat. He wants to do a trial by ordeal. Basically the same premise. If anyone can remove the red-hot horseshoe from the bucket with no harm to themselves, it means the girls are not guilty. It's kind of BS because that's impossible. The priest thinks he has won, but then Regis grabs the horseshoe and throws it on the ground. He is also unhurt. Geralt looks at him a bit confused. What is he? Because clearly he's not human. The priest then calls Regis a witch and to burn them all. So the man really has no honor. He's a little turd. Geralt saves the girls from burning at the stake. It seems they will have to fight the crowd on the way out when Nilfgaard arrives. The crowd takes off not wanting to be murdered by them. The priest gets his just dessert, however. Zoltan takes the horseshoe and brands his nether regions. The two girls are running in front of Geralt when a Nilfgaard soldier slices Beatta's neck. Geralt runs over to her, saying she is fine and that she'll be all right. She dies in his arms. Geralt is really bummed about this. He failed to save her. He blames himself. Will he fail to save Ciri? A Nilfgaard soldier knocks out Geralt while he was still over the body. We're now with a different Witcher. A man is waiting for him. This man is Leo Bonhart, a very dangerous bounty hunter. He put up a wanted poster looking for a Witcher, not to fight a monster, however, to fight him. And Bonhart takes him out relatively easy. If a man can defeat a Witcher, he is quite a dangerous foe. Skellen is here and gives Bonhart a bounty. He wants all the rats, including Ciri, dead. So Skelland wants Ciri dead so the Emperor will give up on this fascination with the prophecy and he can focus on the war at hand. And that is it for the episode. What did you think of it? Leave it down in the comments below. And if you want more Witcher content, please subscribe and like the video. Check out the Twitter link in the description below. And as always, have an awesome day.